Happy, what's it, Wednesday?
Wednesday.
It's Website Wednesday. Welcome, Teresa. How are you?
Good, good. How are you?
Good. We were both talking before we went live that we're both on a little bit of the physical and the mental struggle bus today. So for those of you who are also on that, we get it. Even though we go live, no matter how we're feeling, trust me, some days we're not feeling great either. But we're going to do this because this is a big issue that people complain about all the time.
It is. It really is. And it's one of those things in the web design world. We have this joke, me and the other websites, that, people have this belief that build it and they will come, like the old Kevin Costner movie where he built this, baseball field in the middle of Iowa and people came. That's what people think is going to happen when they build a website. And so they build this website, they hide in the dark creases of their home, build this website, get it up and going, and then wait for everybody to arrive and show up at the front door of their website. And I did it too. I mean, I remember my first website as a health coach. I did the exact same thing too. And I think the first year I maybe had 300 people come to my website. And thank God I have family and friends who went there a couple times because that's all that happened. And so that's kind of the thing, is that, yes, you've got to build a website to look professional, to have that online presence that's really polished and professional, like you are polished and professional, but you've got to drive traffic to your website as well. You can't just hope that it's going to do it for you.
It's a complaint I get all the time. They say, my clients will say, nobody's downloading my freebie, so I don't think my freebie is good. And I'll look at their freebie and, their free PDF giveaway information they're giving to people so they get their email address. And I go, there's nothing wrong with your freebie, but how many people are coming to your website? You have a traffic problem, not a freebie problem, right? So you've got to, and it's funny because when I first went into business as a coach 6.5 or so years ago, that was one of my first videos. If you build it, they won't come. Is what I said. So when you came out with this blog, I'm like, yes, this is what happens. You have to help people find you. So I give suggestions all the time, but you tell them what you're suggesting they do to get people to come to their field of dreams.
And I'm going to say, honestly, it's, for the most part, what I'm going to tell you is very simple stuff, but it's stuff that I don't see people doing on a very regular basis.
Yes.
And for one, you have to invite people. If you had a brick and mortar store, you would hang a sign that says, I'm here. You would put an ad in the paper, or you would do social media stuff to get people in the door. You would invite them to come into your store. You have to invite them into your website as well. And so sharing your website everywhere. So your business cards, I cannot tell you how many times I get a business card without a website, which blows
funny.
I know, blows my mind, but that's like a no-brainer. Any printed marketing materials, you've got to have your website on there. In your email signature, every time you're emailing people back and forth, I have a standard signature that's just automatically there. It does it for me, but my website is in there.
Yes.
Your Google My Business profile. Sometimes people won't put it in Google My Business, and I'm like, Google My Business is great, but you gotta get people to your website. So think about all the directories, professional directories, printed materials, anything like that, and make sure your website is listed on there and that the link is working. Don't put it up before you launch it. I see that happen too. Wait until the website's active and live.
You mean people are promoting their websites before their websites are live?
Well, they'll add it to everything, and then it's not ready yet. So don't do that. But as soon as it's ready, get it out there and put it on everything. So it's easy for people to find you that way.
And put it on everything, not just once because you launched it. Like literally the consistency is what I think is the biggest issue, right? People will post it. I just launched my new website, and they'll put it everywhere you're saying, Instagram, Facebook, Google My Business, wherever. They'll put it everywhere, LinkedIn. But then that's it.
That's it. They stop. Forever. And so that's the next point that I'm talking about, is share your website all the time, and especially on social media. Your website's a resource, or should be a resource, not only for your customers and clients, but for you as well. And it communicates what you do, who you are, how to get in touch with you for you. And so you should be sharing that all the time on social media. Create a cycle where you just once a week drive somebody to your website some way. And I have some great ideas here. So first of all, if you publish a new blog, put it out there.
Yes.
And here's one of the things I hear a lot of times people say, well, if you post a link in Facebook, it hurts the algorithm. Who cares? Put it out there. People are going to click on it. Get it out there.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hurts what algorithm?
The Facebook algorithm.
Please.
Who cares? That one little post is not going to derail your social media efforts. Get it out there and share it. Okay. If you offer online scheduling, get it out there and schedule. Say, hey, do you have questions for me? I would love to chat. Here's my link. Schedule with me. If you're offering a new service, get out, tell people about it. Invite them to come learn more about the new service. Share a link to that page. Oh, let's look at my blog here. My brain's a little fuzzy today, but if you completed a new project, you're an interior designer especially, you've got these portfolios. If you just did a new project and posted this new portfolio, that is a month worth of driving traffic to your website at least.
Yes, this is why I tell everyone they should be blogging. Right?
It's a great way to get things out there. Start doing it. And then does your process stand out from your competitors? Do you do something a little bit differently that makes you stand out? Share it, talk about it, and let people know about it. Drive them to your website again. So,
Yes.
Okay, Cece.
One of her concerns, I think, was what you mentioned on the Facebook, that the Facebook algorithm, like not to post it. I'm going to add to this that we do want to keep up on what Meta is doing,
Yes.
right? Facebook and Instagram. However, we don't want to change every single time they come out with a new thing. Wait a little while. If you're being consistent, keep being consistent with what you're doing. Wait it out. Don't jump every time Meta comes out with where, now we're going to rank this higher and we're going to rank this lower.
Yeah.
People complain in droves and then they switch it back sometimes. So just be consistent and do what you're doing.
Yes. And Cece, I would say too, and this is just personal experience, posting, let's say I do one link post a month or a week, and then I have 3 non-linked posts. It has never impacted my visibility. Things go really smoothly. And honestly, the harder I work to follow their new rules, the worse my visibility gets.
Absolutely.
So you've got to get out there and drive it. And Facebook isn't the only place. Having a link tree in your Instagram and talking about that's a standard thing to say, hey, link in the bio is how it is. Putting it on LinkedIn, sharing things in Google My Business, like a new project that you have. Say, hey, I just did this new project, and sharing a couple pictures and a link back to the project. These are things that are going to help drive traffic to your website. And trust me, it's not going to hurt you as much as some of the fear mongers make us think.
Yeah, I think when people are selling programs, they like to say, you should not be doing this, but come follow me and I've got an in with Facebook and I know what's going to drive traffic. And it's really, most of the time it's bullshit. It's really just something you want to post on a consistent basis. Like you said, mix it up, sometimes links, sometimes information, sometimes just something funny. You can share from somebody else's something, right? Stir the pot is what I always say. Mix it up. Don't be boring and do the same thing over and over again.
Right? Exactly. Mix it up and be consistent. I know that's something that Kim preaches about as well in her Marketing Mondays. Be consistent and just continually show up. It's going to help you way more than anything.
Yeah. And it takes time, everybody. It takes time. If you're looking at your web statistics and you've just started to do some of these things that Teresa and I are talking about, give it time to show and get the effects. You're talking, I always say 6 to 9 months minimum, if not 9 months to a year, until you analyze whether your marketing efforts and your attempt to drive people to your website is working on a consistent basis. Because it's not just like the one win. Oh my God, 25 people came to my website today. It's the long haul and getting that consistency.
Absolutely. And I would say, I agree with you 100% that 6 to 9 months of effort. is putting that in there at least 6 to 9 months before you start seeing a shift. It's time well spent. I mean, social media by far has always been my best tool. I would not have the business that I have if I hadn't just continually showed up, even when I didn't think people were paying attention, when I didn't think people were there, when I was doing live videos on a consistent basis before I connected with you. I think that's probably one of the reasons you and I were able to connect. Because I'm doing live videos all the time. I'm out there talking about stuff. Sometimes I'm talking to nobody.
Yes.
But it mattered. It made a big difference.
Well, listen, sometimes we're here. There's people here now watching. Say hi to us besides Cece. Sometimes there's no one watching, and that's okay, because they watch on replay, or when they're searching for something, they go, oh, there's a video about this. And I can't tell you how many people find my old videos and find them just as valuable as the new videos. So putting content out there is so important. I actually want to ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot with one thing. Talk to us about backlinks. Like, so when I have a client and I'll give you two scenarios, and they give me a testimonial, I put it on my website. Hi, Betsy. Hey, Betsy. I put it on my website, and it's a backlink to their website. So does Google read that? Is one question, like, because they're out on their website is now out on another website, even though it's a testimonial. And then number two, to tie this in, like, you're one of my group sponsors here, and you're on my website as one of my trusted partners, and you have a backlink on my website to your website. What do those backlinks do, even if it's a testimonial? Like, what does that do?
So it just shows a little bit more, and I'm not the best person to answer this question, but it does show a little bit more of legitimacy, because think about this, and here's how backlinks work. The higher the rating that a website authority has, the higher the number, the more authority is deemed that they are. So you have a good number because you are a well-recognized coach. Like, when Google scans your site, they know that you're not some fake company. You're not some garbage.
Right. I've been on podcasts. I've been in magazines, articles, wrote a book. Right. So
you have a higher domain authority. And so when I being linked on your site, it helps my legitimacy, because you're not going to share garbage on your website. And so when you're able to connect with, let's say a local magazine that is really popular, or a regional magazine that has an online version, writing an article there is going to get you a backlink that's going to help that visibility, because they have a little bit higher domain authority than you do. And so that's kind of where you're wanting to be. You don't want to just necessarily be on everything. There's thousands of directories out there. For this $20 a month, you can be on this directory and people will find you. No, they won't. Trust me.
Okay, good. So don't do those little paid things that seem like they're amazing.
Those little paid things, they sound like they're really good, but you can do a lot of work or a lot of things without having to spend money. I mean, there are professional directories that are worth it, but a lot of those little mini directories, no.
This ties actually right into, I wrote a course called Attraction Marketing. I don't think we put it out yet. And we might just add it to my membership site. So only membership site people have access, but it really could sell by itself on its own. And it talks about all this traffic building without paying for anything, right?
Yes.
I dabbled in Facebook ads in this coaching business, quickly pulled the plug and thought, good, now I can teach everyone. They suck and they don't work very well. And what I've been doing instead, which is the attraction marketing, teaching everyone to put themselves out there for free, works. And it's a lot cheaper.
It really does. And I would say the Facebook ads are a long game as well. They are going to work eventually, but they're not going to work in a month, probably. Correct. They may help for a promotion and things like that, but they're a long game. And so you've got to be willing to be consistent with that ad and invest consistently financially for them, from my experience, for them to really take a look at it.
I agree. The people I've seen successful with them, they put aside, I'm going to spend $10,000, $20,000 in Facebook ads over the next 6 months or a year. And they tend to sometimes gain traction. But I've seen plenty of people spend that amount of money and get absolutely nothing. Yeah.
And get nothing. Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So your website is not enough. You have to drive traffic. So wrap us up here.
All right. Well, the last thing, and I'm not going to dive deep into this one, but start working on your SEO. And you don't need to hire some big company necessarily to do that early on. There are small little things that you can do in your website that anybody can do that is going to help start building that SEO foundation that is going to support you later on. And I actually have a free course. It's a little bit old. Free course is getting in the process of getting revamped, but it's still a good course. It still is good information. It
Yes.
just needs new branding and things like that is the biggest revamp purpose. But I do have that course out there. Here, there's some small, tiny little things that you can do in your SEO that anybody can do that is going to start building that foundation and get you where you need to be.
And your courses, just so people know, are free.
Oh, yes. All of my courses are free.
Let's repeat that. All of Teresa's courses are free. So go to her website, which I put on Web Designs by Teresa. Also, I put a link to your blog about.
And there's a link to the free course library in the blog. So
yeah. So if you are starting out, you're a DIYer, check it out. Even if you're not just starting out and you feel like you don't want to hire someone, give yourself 2 hours time slot sometime in the next month and go check out some of these free courses. There are little things you can do right away that Teresa's teaching you in her free courses that could make a big difference in your website and the traffic and SEO and all that fun stuff.
Well, and the thing too is that it cuts out a lot of the noise. Honestly, there's so many people out there shouting about what you should be doing, and it's exhausting and it's terrifying. And honestly, this is what I did. What I'm sharing in my course is exactly what I did to build my business, and it's a very good, successful, thriving business.
I love it.
And I'm in the middle of nowhere, South Dakota, so anybody can do it.
In the middle of nowhere, South Dakota. I'm in the middle of somewhere on Long Island. So, all right. Thank you, Teresa. You always give us such good information. And when people don't take advantage of it, I want to pull my hair out because I'm like, how do people not take advantage and then continue to say they're not successful? They don't know why. I just want everyone to say, listen, we all have been there where we haven't felt successful. Don't give up. Keep going. Pick
Absolutely.
a person that you can follow and learn from, learn what you can, then move on to the next thing in your business. You cannot do it all at once. So I would say grab Teresa's free courses, check out her blog. When it comes to your website, it is key. All of you should have a website if you don't have one, and you should be working towards having a really good website eventually if you don't have one now. So
yes,
go
absolutely.
check out Web Designs by Teresa for all kinds of free details. And when you're ready to hire someone, then you'll know who to hire too. But you give so much away for free for those of them who can't afford it yet.
Oh, absolutely. Because I mean, I remember it being in their shoes.
Me too. I built my first 2 websites. They were terrible, but they served the purpose.
Oh, and I think back to some of the websites I built as a health coach. Oh my gosh.
I know.
So, but I learned a lot, and actually it transitioned me into this career.
Right.
So,
That's what happens. Oh, and Betsy's one of your clients. See, she just said, I'm going to post that.
Oh, Betsy's, you guys should go and check out Betsy's website. It is absolutely gorgeous. And it was driven all by her vision. She just has such an incredible vision of how to display herself. So yeah. Thanks, Betsy.
She's here on Long Island with me. I used to be her art consultant, which is so funny before I became a coach.
That's awesome.
Funny how life goes on. All right, everyone, go have a great rest of your week. Teresa and I will be here for Website Wednesday in about a month because we're trying to rotate it more for you guys, give you more valuable content. And if you have any questions about your website, put it below so Teresa can weigh in. And any questions about running your business in general and being profitable, put the questions down below. It'll give us content for future videos. So, all right, Teresa, feel better.
I will. You too.
Thank you. All right, everyone. See you soon.